Hey guys, today we're going to be testing out the Emulsio app. I'm always in the App Store looking for video editing apps that I think you might be interested in. This one definitely caught my eye. It is a stabilizer for your existing iPhone videos. We're going to take 3 videos and put them to the test and see if Emulsio can stabilize the shakiness in each of them. So here's a look at our first video. This is a bowl of chips and salsa that I shot in my kitchen for my iPhone videography tutorial. That video is so underrated on my channel. You should definitely check it out. I'm gonna link to it here and down in the description box. So you can see this video is a little bit shaky, and I'd like to see if Emulsio can straighten it out a little bit. So here we are in the Emulsio app. I'm gonna hit this drop down to navigate to my photo library, and over here I can hit albums. I've already selected my 3 clips. Let's bring this chips and salsa in. I'm gonna hit this play button so we can see what it looks like. Let's hit the choose button at the bottom right of the screen, and you can see that it's analyzing the video. So let's look at these buttons here in the top left of the screen. This first one here is your translation compensation. And we could toggle between the x-axis, the y-axis, or both. I'm gonna set it to both. And then over here on the right of the screen is my slider where I can pump up or down the stabilization strength. Now, as I pump up the strength, you can see that the perimeter of my frame gets lost. The video is actually like getting scaled up. This is very common with any video stabilization. Part of how they work is that they cut out some of the perimeter of your frame, and the more stabilization you require, the more of that frame you're gonna have to sacrifice. That's just the way all of these work. All right, so the next button down on the left is your rotational compensation. I've turned it off. I can turn it back on by hitting the button again. And again, we can play with the stabilization strength. The next one is wobble remover that you can turn off or on. And again, your stabilization strength. This last button here at the bottom has some additional settings. We can change the stabilization profile. In this case, I'm gonna leave it on standard. Let's hit OK to go back. And let's hit this play button and see what we got. To me, it looks a little bit, I don't know, I can't really tell any difference. But if I really want to see before and after, let's pause this video. I'm going to hit this button here. It gives me a split screen between what my original looked like and what the new version looks like. Let's export it, and let's hit the share button at the bottom right of the screen. And we can export it in a few different file types. We can do a movie or an MP4. That looks good to me. Let's go back and hit export, and our video is exporting. Let's throw up a full screen side by side for you guys to look at here. In looking at these 2 videos, I do see that I'm getting some distortion on the stabilized version. You can see that that salsa bowl sort of has a skewed look to it. This again is very common with stabilizers. You do get some distortion as they attempt to stabilize your video. Another thing you'll notice is that I've lost a fair amount of the perimeter of my clip. You know, I would say in this particular case for this particular video, the Emulsio stabilization, I don't think really brought a lot to the table. I don't think that it's amazing, and I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. All right, let's bring another clip into Emulsio. This one here is from a helicopter in Hawaii. Let me play it back for you. And you'll notice that there's a lot of vibration because it is in a helicopter. So I'm gonna hit choose. It's gonna analyze this video. And again, let's play with that translation and stabilization. I'm not too worried about the rotation compensation because we've stayed pretty horizontal on this clip. The wobble, I'm going to make some adjustments here. And then we're going to click back to the additional settings button. And on the stabilization profile, in this particular case, I'm going to set it to vibration because that is the very exact problem we're having with this clip. I'm going to hit play. And I'm going to turn on that split screen to see how we did. I would say there's some improvement here. Let's throw these up full screen so you can get a really good look. I do see that the vibration has been improved with the Emulsio app. You definitely get a little distortion on those mountains, but nothing really to write home about. I don't think unless you were looking for it, you would even notice it. So in this case, I would say the Emulsio app was pretty good. I give it a thumbs up. All right, this next video might need a little explanation. Take a look here. This is a video from a concert I attended way back when. Remember when we used to go to concerts and stand this close to a lot of sweaty people and think nothing of it? Anyone else remember those days? So in this circumstance, this is the concert for the band Bush, and the lead singer Gavin Rossdale came out into the crowd, and everyone lost their minds, and everyone was bringing out their phones and chasing him. So this video is wildly shaky. It's really bad, and I'm wondering if Emulsio can do a good job in fixing it for me. So once again, let's bring that video into Emulsio and choose it. It's analyzing. And let me just play it and see what it's doing by default. I'm going to turn up the stabilization strength very high because this video sure needs it. And for additional settings, I'm going to set the stabilization profile to cinematic. Let's do that split screen and see how it looks. Wow, I can see already just from the split screen that this video has definitely been stabilized. Let's export it. I would say that the Emulsio app worked really well on the worst part of this clip. There is some distortion here with this building that you really can't miss. And when we get to Gavin Rossdale, yeah, we're a little bit closer on him. But I would say the Emulsio app really knocked it out of the park with this particular video. So what are my final thoughts on the Emulsio app? I would say, first of all, the iPhone has really good stabilization just built into it. When going through my videos that I've shot over the years looking for video clips for this particular app review, I had a hard time finding stuff that was really shaky because I do feel like the iPhone does a great job of stabilizing video on its own. But there are cases, in particular with this concert video, where I just needed a lot of help. And Emulsio, like I said, knocked it out of the park. I paid $5.99 of my own money for the Emulsio app for a year-long subscription, and that gives me all the features with Emulsio. And I can say for $6 for a year, I'm not mad at it. So I do think I could recommend Emulsio to you if the situation arises and you need good stabilization. You guys, what other apps are you seeing in the App Store that you want my take on? Let me know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again.